Understand this fast and without romance. The moment your blood rushes shows up before your brain does, you're no longer operating as a thinking man. You're operating as a stimulus response animal. That's not strength. That's exposure. And the world is full of people who know exactly how to exploit exposed men. If her body alone flips the switch instantly, before character, before consistency, before respect, then your judgment is already bent. And anything decided with bent judgment ends in loss. This isn't about attraction. Attraction is normal. This is about instant arousal hijacking decision-making. That's where men fuck up. Because when desire spikes too fast, discernment shuts down. You stop watching behavior. You stop checking alignment. You stop enforcing standards. You start rationalizing bullshit. And rationalization is how traps get walked into smiling. There's a reason discipline has always been tied to power. A man who can't control his impulses is easy to steer. If her body controls your mood, your focus, your priorities, then she doesn't need to manipulate you. Your biology is doing the work for her. And make no mistake, some women know exactly how to weaponize that. The first trap is visual dominance. She leads with sexuality, not intimacy, not depth, pure visual stimulation. Clothes, movement, pro-showing, enough to light your nervous system up instantly. Men think this is confidence. Sometimes it is. Other times it's strategy. Because a man who's aroused stops asking questions. He starts chasing outcomes. The correct response isn't suppression. It's regulation. You notice the arousal without acting on it. You slow your breathing. You ground yourself. You don't let your eyes linger like a starving dog. You keep your posture calm. Because the moment she sees hunger in your body language, she knows she has leverage. Next trap comes fast, sexual framing. Conversations drift sexual early. Jokes, teasing, suggestive language. This keeps you locked in your lower brain. The more sexual the frame, the less likely you are to demand clarity or consistency. You're being entertained, not respected. The wolf response is redirection. You don't shut it down aggressively. You don't escalate it either. You bring the interaction back to neutral ground. Real talk, real values, real presence. If she loses interest when sex isn't the center, she was never interested in you as a man. She was interested in the reaction she could pull out of you. Another trap is reward and withdraw. She gives just enough physical closeness to spike arousal, then pulls back. This creates craving. Craving creates compliance. Men start doing favors, adjusting schedules, lowering boundaries just to get another hit. That's not desire. That's conditioning. The counter is scarcity of response. You don't chase the next hit. You don't try to earn access. You pull your energy back. Calmly. Arousal without access must be met with distance, not pursuit. Otherwise, you're training yourself to be controlled. Then comes the ego inflation trap. She knows men associate sexual attention with validation. She makes you feel desired, wanted, chosen. Your confidence spikes. You feel powerful. That's the illusion. Because confidence that depends on external sexual approval collapses the moment it's withdrawn. A grounded man doesn't let his sense of worth rise and fall with arousal. He keeps his identity rooted in his mission, his discipline, his self-respect. Sexual attention becomes a bonus, not a compass. Another move is comparison. She knows you're aroused, so she subtly implies competition. Mentions other men, past experiences, options. This creates urgency. Men rush decisions when they think they might lose access. That's how bad deals get signed. The correct response is detachment. You don't compete sexually. You don't prove anything. You don't speed up. A man who knows his value doesn't rush because of perceived competition. He lets others reveal their intentions. Here's a hard truth most men don't want to hear. Extreme physical attraction often masks incompatibility. When arousal is high, red flags look like decoration. Disrespect looks like confidence. Chaos looks like excitement. Men wake up months later wondering how the fuck they ignored what was obvious from the start. That's why discipline around desire matters. Not because sex is bad, but because unregulated desire blinds you. A wolf hunts with awareness, not frenzy. The moment you feel your judgment slipping, that's your cue to slow everything down. Another trap tied to arousal is tolerance of disrespect. Men let things slide they never would otherwise. Donne. Attitude. Boundary pushes. Why? Because they don't want to lose access to the body. That's the price of compromised judgment. The solution is standards enforced regardless of attraction. If behavior crosses a line, attraction doesn't buy forgiveness. Distance does. Silence does. Consequences do. A man who trades respect for access loses both. Then comes escalation pressure. She senses your desire and pushes for faster progression. Not toward commitment, toward intimacy. This locks you in physically while keeping things undefined emotionally. Men confuse physical closeness with connection. They're not the same. The wise response is pacing. You don't rush intimacy when clarity isn't present. You don't let physical closeness replace emotional alignment. You keep your structure intact. Understand this. Some women use sexuality as currency. That doesn't make them evil. It makes them strategic. And a man who doesn't understand that will spend his life overpaying for attention. The ultimate counter is mastery of self. You lift heavy. You train discipline. You keep your life full. You don't approach women from hunger. Hunger is visible. Hunger is exploitable. Desire controlled is attractive. Desire uncontrolled is weak. A man who can feel arousal without acting on it holds power. He chooses. He doesn't react. He doesn't let his dick make decisions his future has to pay for. That if her body triggers you instantly, that's not a signal to chase. That's a signal to slow down and observe harder. Who is she when sex isn't the topic? How does she handle boundaries? How does she treat time, respect, consistency? Those answers matter more than how she looks naked. Wolves don't let instinct override judgment. They integrate it. They stay sharp. They don't get played by their own biology that if this pissed you off, good. That means you recognized yourself somewhere in it. That's awareness. If you want more real talk like this, no sugar, no bullshit, then like the video, subscribe to the channel, and stay locked in. This is where men regain control of their mind before they lose control of their life.